Hello and welcome everyone. It is Friday, May 31st, 2019. Wednesday was New Comic Book Day, best day of the week. A little late getting this out. I wasn't able to get in my shop till yesterday, so I had a chance to read my books last night, most of them anyways, and do a video today because there was some really good stuff out this week, as usual. And boy, there's so much good stuff coming out these days. What a great time to be collecting. Thank you to all my subscribers. You're all awesome, whether you're on YouTube or Instagram. I love the questions you ask, the comments, everything. It's all good, so thank you so much. And my comic shop shout out today is to Choice Comics. They are in Honolulu, Hawaii. It's actually Pearl City, right near Pearl Harbor. It's a cool looking shop, and I've been to Hawaii 6 times and I've never been there. I can't believe that. That's shame on me for not going there. Anyways, it looks like a really nice shop. They got graded books there. They've got, obviously a good selection of comics and supplies and everything else. Address and phone numbers down in the comics. If you happen to be in Hawaii, or if you go on a vacation there like I do regularly, stop in and say hello, and I'm sure they'll be happy to help you out. So Choice Comics in Hawaii is my shout out. I mentioned in my last video that I was going to do a giveaway for Stranger Things 6 #1. These are an exclusive comic that came out of Black Cape Comics in the States. So I'm going to do that at the end of the video. So stick around to the end. There's 2 people I just did a random draw, and I'll give you the names at the end. So hang tight for that. But I just want to remind you that I'm doing that. So thank you to Black Cape Comics for sending me those to give away to you guys. One of those is autographed by the artist Esteban Salinas, and the other one is just a plain raw copy. They're both raw, but yeah, so anyways, let's get going into stuff here, because man, I got so much stuff to talk about. First off, I gotta say a huge thank you to my subscribers, because I got a bunch of stuff sent to me, and it's been sitting at my P.O. box down in the States, but I haven't been able to get down there. But I got down there this week, actually yesterday. I made a run there and my comic shop, so it was a good day. So from Adam Eckhoff, who's part of OR, I showed you this before. They're a band, and they've got their own self-published comic, which is really cool. He sent me a copy of Thor War of the Realms War of the Realms #1, the Hela variant, which I love that variant. And he sent me a copy of Providence #7, that really cool cover. I couldn't get that at my shop, so thank you so much, Adam. That was awesome. And there's a link to they have some, I guess, some shirts and albums and all that stuff. If you're interested, I'll put that down in the comments. So thank you, Adam. And that's really cool. Really appreciate that. And then Justin Williamson, who's another one of my subscribers, sent me some books. And man, there's some cool ones in here. He sent me the Electric Black #1. It's got that Tales of the Crypt cover. That is so cool. I love those old horror books. Man, that's awesome. And then he sent me Scout Comics Presents #1. The Mall #1, which has been optioned. I'm sure a lot of you, I did talk about that quite a while ago. The Mall #4, which I don't have that one, so that's awesome. That's a variant too. And then the Free Comic Book Day for the Mall, which is autographed. And I can't remember who he said autographed that. I'll let him anyways. Let me know, because I can't remember who that was. And then the Electric Black, which I really like. It's kind of that creepy, and it's like a preview, so that's awesome. So thank you so much, Justin. That is really cool. And Adam as well. And then one more. I got 3 sets of stuff from people this week. This is from Mark Scheibel. I hope I'm pronouncing your name right. And he even put them all in Mylar, which is is awesome. He said, here's some books for your PC. Ant-Man #2 is Donny Cates' first published work in comics, because he did a little, if I remember right, he did like a little, not his first writing, but he did some art. It was like stick figure art, and I didn't have it, so I'll show you that one in a second. But he got me the Spawn Free Comic Book Day. I've got the original first print, but this is what am I going to say, is Matina cover, which is just for the Free Comic Day, so that's really cool. And he got me Dark Red #1. I have Dark Red #1, but I don't have this cover, and man, that's a gorgeous cover. I really like that one. And this is the Ant-Man and the Wasp. It's #2, and that has Donny Cates did some stick figure drawing, and it's inside the comic, which is really cool. And he sent me Honor and Curse, which I have. But this is, it's like a sneak preview, or almost like an ash can of the Honor and Curse, which is, man, thank you so much. That is awesome. And he sent me the free comic book day Spider-Man, which is so cool because, I mean, I've got that one, but man, you can never have enough of that because Absolute Carnage is coming. And I got some news about Absolute Carnage at the end of this video, which you're going to want to stick around for because it's pretty interesting. So anyways, thank you so much, everybody. I really appreciate you sending me stuff. But again, please don't feel like you have to do that. I really don't expect people. I just do this because I love comics. So, but hey, man, I really do appreciate it. So thank you so much. So I'm going to start with my independent stuff. And this is one I got several weeks ago. I can't remember if I showed it or not, but it's Creeps number 18. And the only reason I got it is because it's a Frank Frazetta artwork. And I love Frazetta's artwork. Any that are old like me, you remember Frazetta. His art was just stunning. I showed some of the books I got that he... all his artwork and stuff, and I was just, man, I love that cover, so I had to get it. I got my Punk Mambo number 2, just grabbed the one cover, but I like that series, it's not too bad. I grabbed Floppy Cop number 2, and it's funny, you know, Source Point Press is a smaller company, $3.99 cover price, and they got heavy cardstock cover on that, so why can't Marvel and DC do that? Marvel's books, well, DC's going the same way. The cover is basically the same paper they put inside the book, but man, I just, that's kind of a funny story. I like, I like that. So, I grabbed Spawn, The Road to 300. This is number 297. I got cover A. I got the Matina, or well, it's Matina, but I mean, I got the Virgin cover B as well as the black and white. And it's a good thing they put right on the cover, hey, it's a black and white issue. I couldn't figure that out. Anyways, it's kind of funny. But interesting thing, I'm going to show an image in here. Because Godsend shows up in here, and I think it's a he. I mean, I think I said she in my last video, but it's kind of interesting. This book, it's all gone, horizontal, which is weird. Like it's in landscape mode, which is kind of interesting for the whole history of Spawn. But I mentioned that Rapture is showing up in 299, and Rapture, as far as I understand, is kind of like Four Horsemen of the Apocalypse kind of thing. And on the last page, you got Godsend, and you got these other 3 characters in the back. Now, I don't know if they've been around before, so I don't know if this is actually the first appearance of Rapture, like the Four Horsemen kind of a thing, or if this is just Godsend talking, because Godsend's talking about your side has always been weak. I'm talking about us, God's hand-picked warriors, who are the Rapture. So I don't know if that is the first appearance of Rapture or not. I'd have to go back. I haven't been reading Spawn all the way through. I mean, I obviously picked it up from around 280 again, but I used to buy it right up to like issue 1. Oh, geez, I can't remember, but there was a whole bunch I missed. And of course, the ones I missed were right when, you know, the real low print runs that are all real pricey. I got some of them, but anyways, that's kind of cool. I really like Spawn. Looking forward to the next few issues. So that's it for it. Oh no, sorry. What last indie I got? And man, this is a good one. I got Horror Comics number 1, and I got the kind of, again, that sort of the old school Tales from the Crypt sort of cover. It doesn't have the pictures on the side, but I love that cover. It's got that real old school look to it. And man, after reading this, I don't think I want to eat ice cream again. It's a pretty, you know, and it's got almost an Ice Cream Man sort of feel to it. Obviously, it's a guy in an ice cream truck. But you learn why his ice cream is so flavorful and everybody loves it and everything. He's got a special ingredient, but it's really interesting. So I'm glad I got that one. I really like that one. That's a wicked looking cover too. Awesome book. Hope you got that one because of the and it's funny, cover B has a $9.99 cover price, but I like cover A better than that one. So from DC, I picked up Batman or Detective Comics Annual number 2. And I got to show an image in here because the Reaper shows up. If you haven't read it, just spoiler alert if you don't want to know. I mean, it was in the solicitations. But the interest, so you've got the Reaper, you know, flying around, killing people. It's kind of like DC's version of the Punisher. But the interesting thing is in here, calls himself Reaper Prime. So I don't know if this is a new version of the Reaper because I thought the Reaper had died, if I remember right. It's been a while since I read about the Reaper, but I'm pretty sure the Reaper had died. So this could be somebody else taking almost like a second version of the Reaper. So anyway, it was interesting. Just thought I'd point that out. That one actually sold out at my shop. There's some books, funny, some stuff online sells out and I go to my shop and there's a stack of it. Other stuff doesn't sell out online and my shop is sold out right away. So I don't know, it's weird. Got Doomsday Clock number 10, both covers. Excuse me, I got both of those. Funny, they got Justice Society of America right there. Because I I actually tried to buy a first appearance of that a while ago, and of course the sale fell through on eBay. But whatever, it happens sometimes. So I got those. I got Leviathan Rising, $10 cover price. Nice, but it's a nice square bound prestige format. This was really good, and this man, Leon is in this story right from beginning to end, kind of thing, and and Red Cloud is in there as well. That's a good book. I recommend getting that. If you didn't get this one, I recommend hunting that one down, because there's some good stuff tying in Leviathan and everything else. So, and you got this guy with the digital face. You can't tell who it is, so it's going to be interesting to see who Leviathan is. Got and last one I got from DC, Batman Last Night on Earth. Got both covers. I like the Jock cover. I mean, this Capullo cover is pretty nice too, but I like the Jock one the best. That one I haven't read yet. So people asked me if what I thought of it, but I honestly haven't read that one yet. Like I say, I just got my books kind of late, so. But anyways, that's it from DC. From Marvel, I got a couple well, I got more than a couple. I got a few copies of number 2 5th print, and yes, I went and got the one for $25, the Virgin. I had to do it. I'm a collector, and hey man, I had to I had to have it, so I went and got it. I like that. I mean, I love Alex Ross's artwork, and that's one of my favorite covers he's done for the Immortal Hulk, so I had to get that. Got Thor number 13. That was okay. And Spider-Man and the League of Realms. And it's funny, this one apparently sold out online at Midtown and everything. I don't know why. I mean, this is what I was talking about. My shop literally had 20 copies sitting on the table, so I bought one. I don't think there's anything really amazing that happens in it, but hey, I got it. So, got my War Scrolls number 2 with Daredevil, the God Without Fear, right on the cover. Really like that one. And this is a series, this next one here, Daredevil number 6. This is really good. If you aren't reading this, boy, you're missing out. It is really good. And I'm going to show an image in here, so if you haven't read it or whatever and you don't want to know, just be advised, because on the last Daredevil, this has got a lot. Detective Cole North is in your throughout, and I think he's going to have a bigger role to play. But it's interesting, there's this lady here who goes into the store, and it's all about this gang who's going around getting protection money from stores and everything. So while she's in there, they come in to get protection money from her. She kind of hides in the back, and while the guy's getting beat up, and all of a sudden she sees the Daredevil outfit sitting there, and then in her eyes she gets this red image, almost like the end of Naomi. So maybe, anyways, and then it goes red. So does she become, does she put on a Daredevil costume and start acting like Daredevil? Or does Detective Cole North become Daredevil and go kick somebody's ass? Or does Matt Murdock show up as Daredevil again? I don't know, we'll have to see. But there's just something going on with Daredevil that I can't put my finger on. But it's really good. I'd really recommend, if you're not getting this, it's really good. That's all I can say. Last one, and my big pick of the week this week, was Immortal Hulk number 18, and I got to take these out of here for a second. There's a reason why I put these covers in the back. I saw somebody did this on Instagram. There's cover 18 obviously for this week, and then you got Captain America number 8 that came out quite a while ago, and Spider-Man 796 from quite a while ago. They're all Alex Ross close-up face shots of the different characters, and I just thought it looked really cool to have all 3 of them out there, so that's why I put those out. So yeah, I really like that. I can't remember who it was, but it looked awesome. So I got the regular cover. I also got the Hulkbuster variant for that. This was a really good issue. You do get your first full appearance of the new Abomination, and like I was saying before, it's you get Red Harpy shows up in here as well. He's kind of Al Ewing gives a twist to all the characters that have shown up in the past, so it's really good. And I got to talk about, that's it for this week, folks. That's my new books this week. But I got to talk about, while we're on the topic of Immortal Hulk, I have to talk about issue number 22 that comes out down the road. And I'm going to put an image on the screen right now, and you're going to see the Hulk, Red Harpy, and then Rick Jones kind of all walking together as a group. And if you don't want to know about the solicitation for the books coming down the road, turn this off, because there's potentially some spoilers in this and what I'm going to say, because in the next few issues it looks like Abomination, a Red Harpy, and the Hulk all battle. But by the time 22 comes around, it sounds like they've joined forces, and it says Shadow Base has one goal: to stop the monsters, the forces of chaos. So it sounds like Red Harpy, Immortal Hulk, and Rick Jones as a new Abomination will have a team formed called the Forces of Chaos. Whether that happens in 22 or 21, whatever the case is, like I've been saying all the way along, if you are not buying Immortal Hulk, you are missing out, but just keep buying it because there's some really good stuff coming. So that's the first thing. It looks like they're going to have a team. And then the next thing is, it says, so the Forces of Chaos, and give their power, hang on, I got to start over. Shadow Base's one goal: to stop the monsters, the Forces of Chaos, and give their power to men of order. But the monsters have goals of their own, and now they're working together. Rick Jones remembers everything, and you wouldn't like him when he's angry. So the reason I'm bringing that up is issue, if you remember back in issue 2, we all know that Delphry's in the stasis chamber, much like when they made Weapon H. He's, in the stasis chamber and the whole bit, and that was in, where they made him. And then issue 22 was when you got your first appearance of Weapon H. And I find it funny that we're coming up to issue 22. We haven't heard much from Delphry or anything else. And I'm this is a total hunch on my part, but the way that's worded, saying that the Shadow Base's one goal: to stop the monsters, the Forces of Chaos, and give their power to men of order. So I'm wondering if they're going to try and take some of the power from those characters and transfer that to Delphry and create a new monster, which may show up in 22, and it would coincide with Weapon H, which came out in Totally Awesome Hulk number 22. So just a thought. I don't know if that's going to happen or not, but I was just reading that and like, oh, that sounds kind of odd. Sometimes you got to play these hunches, but at the end of the day, like I say, just make sure you have Immortal Hulk on your pull list, and you'll be fine, because when that comes out, if that happens, man, it's gonna go through the roof. And I mentioned earlier today on Instagram, or I didn't mention on Instagram, I talked to a couple people, but the news came out that Bendis tweeted out about Pearl number 1, well, Pearl, but issue number 1 is a good one to get if you can get it. It looks like a new movie deal's coming from Pearl. So there's an image. Comics Heating Up had an article about that this morning. And a couple of you had texted me about that and messaged me about it. But if you can find these sitting on the shelf for cover price, grab them. The only thing is, I can't remember. Somebody sent me, I think the back cover is black, and this being kind of a lighter cover. Just check, because you may get some color rub and stuff on them. But if you can find a nice copy, pick them up. There's a few different covers, so there's 2 of them there. So look for that, because that's really cool. I grabbed a couple. I did get my Venom number 12, which was your first kind of official cover appearance from Marvel of Dylan Brock on the cover. But I mentioned this before too. His actual first appearance was on Dylan Brock's first cover appearance, I should say, was on an Unknown Comics exclusive cover, which I got here for number 10. I got 2 of those. I don't know if there's still any available on their website. I haven't looked, but they were when I ordered these. There were still quite a few there. So I grabbed those. And the interesting thing with Dylan and Venom and everything, I talked about number 16. I got an image of number 16 on the cover. And a couple of my subscribers have messaged me. And if you look, you can see, obviously, Eddie and Dylan. Looks like they're sitting there eating a sundae, and Rhino's crashing outside. But look closely at the sundae. I got another image close up. It looks like it's kind of the symbiote in the sundae, and it's leaning towards Dylan. So I'm almost thinking that in 16, when Cates comes back, that you're going to get Dylan becoming a symbiote. So hang on to number 7 and 9, his first appearance, and make sure you get number 16, because that looks really good. And while we're on the topic of symbiotes, I have to mention, you may or may not know about this, but Absolute Carnage has these one-page lead-in stories for a whole bunch of comics coming out in June and July. So there's 10 comics in total, and each one of these issues, which I'm going to list, will have a single page, and each page is different for each comic. So if you want the 10-page lead-in, which I'm going to get, because it's Stegman's doing the art and Donny Cates doing the writing. They did it for Hunt for Wolverine, but that wasn't very good. They also did it for Infinity Wars, and you got your first appearance of Requiem in those pages. So some good stuff can show up in these. So I'm going to list them off. In June, there's 5 comics. You've got Venom number 15 on June 12th. and Symbiote Spider-Man number 3 on June 12th. Those two both have a single page, and it will, like I say, they will be different for each comic. Then on the June 19th, you got Deadpool 14. On the 26th, you have Amazing Spider-Man 24 and Fantastic Four number 11. I'll put all these down in the comments too if you want to know. And then in July, you got another 5 comics, and those you have 2 on July 3rd, Immortal Hulk number 20 and Black Cat number 2. And then on the 17th, you've got Invaders number 7 and Captain Marvel number 8. And then on the 31st, you have Avengers 22. So those 10 comics will all have a single lead-in page leading right into Absolute Carnage, which comes out in August. So it's I'd recommend getting those if you can, because you never know, you may have a death in one of those, or a first appearance, or some important storyline thing come in there, but you never know. So that looks really good. That is it for this week, folks. Sorry it's kind of a little late. There's some good stuff out there. I didn't cover off too much of the stuff in books. Oh yeah, and I have to show. I'll show these next video. But anyways, that's. Oh yeah, I got to do my contest giveaway. So my 2 winners are Patrick Melargno. You got that one there, and Gino Bonino is the winner of the autographed one. So there you go, folks. Those two copies of Stranger Things are courtesy of Black Cape Comics. They sent those to me, so I will send you a message, and you can. I'll get your address and everything, and I'll mail those out to you. So congratulations to Patrick Melargno and Gino Bonino. Take care, everyone. Happy hunting. I'll talk to you in just in a day or two with my top picks of the week and my new top covers. Brandon Stawinski. I used the term "oh boy" a lot, so he said, "Oh, Jim, you got to, instead of calling it top covers, it's got to be your oh boy covers." So I think that's what I'm going to do. Oh boy. Anyways, take care, everyone. Happy hunting. Talk to you later in the week. Bye for now.